Every time we have some people who are new and have to come with the introduction of the subject, because after all, it's a subject of the absolute knowledge. And if I suddenly start off, then it will be difficult for you to follow it. Though through rationality you cannot understand it. It is not a subject which can be discussed. If you think by discussing and talking about it, we reach somewhere, then you are suddenly mistaken. That's how people have been doing it all the time. They have been talking. And this talking has led you nowhere. For example, one can give a big sermon as how you should be, or how I should be, and may go on and on like that from generations to generations. And people in search of truth do take to it easily, because they are searching whatever they get. They said, all right, let's have it. And there has been a regular force which has been guiding them throughout in their search, of which they may not be aware of. And that's why they have been denying one after another. All such people, all such organizations which have not been able to give you the actualization of the experience. And that is what it is one has to ask for. Now, it has been said in all the scriptures that you are to be twice born. Now, what is that? It has been said that you have to know yourself. The rest of it has no meaning. Now, if they have said it, either they were wrong, they were fraudulent, or they were genuinely correct. So we come to a point where we have to see whether really such a thing like second birth happens or not. Does it happen, or it is just a myth people are talking about? Are we looking out for something that is mythical, or really there is something like second birth within us? There is no religion I'm saying, which has not talked of your second birth. But how to achieve it? How to get it? All of them have said that you maintain your sustenance, you maintain your equilibrium. I am not talking about the organizations that were built up on these so-called religious faiths that they had. I am talking in the essence of every religion, that we have to just stabilize ourselves and wait, and it will work out. So all these promises were given to us by people who are still, till today, are respected and are called, as they say, Son of God or incarnations, with such great names. They could not have told us a lie. All right, then we go out for searching the truth. We go out with our mind, our rationality. In the modern times especially, we depend on our rationality. We go on moving in this direction in every enterprise. Every enterprise we move into is through our mind. And if you see it closely and clearly, you will find that this mind moves in a linear line. It doesn't behave like a living thing, like a living organism, which moves in all directions in proportion to others, in proportion to the whole. So our mind is not connected with the whole. If it was, we would not have all the problems. Like you have affluence, money, you have pollution. Everything that you do ends up into a downward curve because you have to face many problems. So this mind is not the instrument that gives you the awareness of the whole. Maybe because of certain past experiences, you may be aware of, or not, I would not say aware, but that you can think about the common problems, the common difficulties, but still you are not aware of the whole. So there is a difference between thinking and awareness. Awareness is that we are aware that there is light. We are aware that there is sun still in the sky. We are not thinking about it, but we are aware. But I am not talking of awareness. I am talking of actualization, of enlightenment. So, we move from one stage where we think, rationalize, then we move to another stage where we are aware, and the third stage where we are enlightened. At least minimum 3 stages with this rationality of ours, which is limited, we can think of. Rationality has had all the time, since you have been human being for ages now, living with your ego. It is so much connected. It has been so much in association with your ego, and that there has been a lot of rapport between your rationality and your ego. You cannot separate both of them. So there is also a muddle about it, whether you are thinking through your ego or you are thinking through your rationality. Is it pure rationality, or your ego is on top of your rationality? Now, when there is such a muddle within our minds, how can we say that we believe in rationality of everything, when your rationality itself is not established? Now, if we take to our rationality, how far are we developed in our rationality? Let us see. Of course, it is not perfect. This you know, this we will have to admit, if we leave our ego a little bit on one side, that whatever we try to rationalize, we do not reach the perfect conclusions. All kinds of problems. You start with democracy, you start with communism, you start with any enterprise you do, you get into troubles. That means your rationality is not yet perfected. What is the disease of your rationality is your ego to begin with. And the second is the immaturity of your rationality. Because if you are matured enough, you should be able to tell through your rationality why there is gravity, why there are vibrations in the molecules, say, of sulfur dioxide. The sulfur and oxygen both are vibrating all the time with a particular frequency. Why? You cannot answer even one why through your rationality. So, where is the rationality? Still you take everything for granted. Whatever is discovered is not through your rationality. It is dawned upon you, and your rationality has accepted you is a different point. But you cannot give why of anything. If you accept this, I can tell you, our ego can little bit go down. Then you'll start separating between the two very easily. When we will realize that we cannot give answers to any why whatsoever. Why are you made a human being? Simple question. We take it for granted. Oh, we are human beings. But why are you a human being? Why from amoeba you are made a human being? When you cannot answer these questions, then we take it for granted. It's a good thing. In a way, it's a good thing to take certain things for granted. But if you try to rationalize everything, you'll go mad. Because your rationality is not that much developed, is not mature, is not yet enlightened. But through rationality, you realize something. You realize something, that certain things you have to understand beyond rationality. Certain things you cannot rationalize. You do it. Every day-to-day talks you do. I do not know. If you were perfectly rationalized, you should know everything. But it's a common thing we say to people, I do not know. And people do not mind. If this answer is given, we say, all right. He does not know, so finished. That means, what does not know? That I is not known to you. To your rationality. If it is known to your rationality, then you are an enlightened person.